Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron, right here. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, it's getting a little late in the day, but we got some crazy stuff popping off on Twitter that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to get it out tonight because there's so much more to talk about tomorrow. Leah Remini is posting some wild stuff on Twitter that has to do with LAPD corruption, Scientology, and Shelly Miscavige. It's pretty hard to tell a story on Twitter, but Leah's doing it so far with 20 tweets as of right now. I think she's done. Luckily, tweets are by nature not very long. So let me just show you what she's putting out there. One, many of you know about Shelly Miscavige, the wife of Scientology's leader, David Miscavige, who's been missing for over 15 years. Well, I have got a hell of an update for you. Meet Corey Palka, a 34-year vet for you. Meet Corey Palka, a 34-year vet of LAPD and a longtime captain of the Hollywood division. Corey was in charge of the division where I filed my missing persons report into the disappearance of Shelly Miscavige. Here, Corey accepts a check from Scientology for an LAPD charity. Here's where things get interesting. Corey is now being investigated for providing confidential investigative information to top CBS executives, which begs the question, what investigative information has he provided to Scientology over the years? And here we have a headline, New York Times, how an LAPD officer helped Les Moonves fight an assault complaint. In 2013, after I left Scientology, I filed a missing persons report with the LAPD on Shelly Miscavige. By the time I filed the report, it had been nearly 8 years since I had seen or heard from Shelly. At Tom Cruise's wedding to Katie Holmes in 2006, I was shocked when Shelly wasn't with her husband, David Miscavige. Tom's wedding was dubbed the wedding of the century in Scientology. It was the most critical event for top Scientologists. That's definitely true. Shelly was always with her husband. She was his shadow, not only because she was married to him, but because she was his top aide. Now, this should really read, not because she was married to him, but because she was his top aide, but whatever. For her not to be in attendance was not only unusual, but also unimaginable, and that is true. When I asked where Shelly was, Tommy Davis, who was Tom Cruise and David Miscavige's henchman, told me, "You don't have the effing rank to ask about Shelly." I was subjected to months of cruel interrogations and reprogramming for the high crime of asking where Shelly was. Leah talks a lot about this in her book, Troublemaker, which if you haven't read it, phenomenal. Get the audiobook. Leah narrates it herself. That's what I listen to. Phenomenal. My letters to Shelly had all gone unanswered. I couldn't reach her by phone either. So when I left Scientology, my first goal was to try and find Shelly. I filed a missing persons report through a friend I knew at the LAPD. Hours after I filed the missing persons report, the case was closed and the LAPD announced to the press that they had found Shelly. This news was released first to the press, not to me, who filed the report. I learned about all of this from the media, not from the LAPD. That is very unusual. And actually, for any of you out there, law enforcement, former law enforcement, please either let me know in the comments down below or contact me privately. Is it highly unusual for the police to respond to such a report by making an announcement to the press instead of informing the person who filed the report? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. When I asked if detectives had spoken to or had seen Shelly themselves, I was told that was classified by the LAPD. I was told to file a public records request if I wanted further information. I spent $50,000 in attorney's fees filing various requests. My requests for information from the LAPD were shut down. I still don't know anything about the circumstances of this investigation. Imagine being told if you want that information, file a public records request, and then you spend $50K filing the public records request just to have your request denied. This reeks of corruption. Absolutely reeks of corruption. Scientology has always done a great job at ingratiating itself with law enforcement, despite being experts in obstructing justice. Scientology hires off-duty LAPD cops as security and donates to LAPD charities, all while instructing their members never to help any criminal investigations involving Scientologists, and making it a high crime within Scientology to report Scientologists to law enforcement, which is all 100% true. When I met with Corey Palka about Shelly, he had a letter on his desk thanking him for all his help with Scientology Matters and inviting him to come and have lunch as a guest at the Celebrity Center. I was so alarmed by Corey's closeness with Scientology, I even offered to personally double any donations they made to LAPD charities if he wouldn't accept donations from them. Corey was incredibly dismissive. Just imagine the coincidence of Leah going into the LAPD to file a report with Captain, I think it was Captain Palka, and on his desk is a letter from Scientology. Absolutely incredible. She continues on, take a look at these emails obtained by Tony Ortega that Corey exchanged with Scientology officials. Look at how helpful Corey is to Scientology. Look how friendly their relationship is. Corey even assigned a particular detective who could personally handle Scientology's complaints. He also agreed to help introduce them to the Detroit chief of police. This is unheard of. Let's take a look at some of these emails that Leah is posting here. Let's see. This is between a Lisa Alexandre, whatever, presumably at Scientology, and Captain Corey Palka, or Commanding Officer Corey Palka. I don't know which one it is. Oh, yeah, Lisa Alexandre, Public Affairs, Scientology Media Productions. Thank you, Lisa. We need you on our team. This can be a very difficult occupation, but it's more than just a job. It's the people that need to be cared for. Thank you for caring for us at Hollywood. Corey Palka, Commanding Officer, LAPD Hollywood Division. Oh, it's even got a Twitter handle. How modern. Lisa responds, Captain Palka, we are 1,000% on your team. Always. All the best, Lisa. Yeah, it seems a little inappropriately close to me, if you ask my opinion. This next one from Captain Corey Palka to Byford Whittingham. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Let's find out. Hi, Peter. Representatives from Scientology are looking to make contact with James Craig, the police chief in Detroit. Apparently, they're opening up a large church-type facility or resource center and want to meet with him. Mark Green told me you might have contact with James, or at least his contact number in Detroit. Can you please have a member of Chief Craig's staff reach out to the below-listed person? Thank you so much. Hope you are well. I got it. So that's the introduction they're making. Very interesting. Using police contacts to meet other police contacts halfway across the country. Very interesting. Okay, so this is an email from Kristen Peterson, whose name I recognize, but I do not recall what her job is in Scientology, to Captain Palka. What's remarkable about this is that it literally has to do with Leah Remini's frickin' TV show. So it says, good morning, Captain Palka. I wanted to ask you for your guidance on something. Okay, so this is back in August 2017. The second season of Remini's show is going to begin tonight. Oh, it's just Remini's show. She doesn't even need to explain who Remini is or use her first name or explain anything else about it. It's just Remini. Remini's show. Definitely not the first time they've talked about Remini's show. I can tell you that. The second season of Remini's show is going to begin tonight. We've already started getting an increase of hate mail. Oh, wow. Just with the teasers. Oh, yeah, I'll take things that never happened for 100, Alex. Okay, so I'm expecting the threats to start up shortly after the first episode tonight. Oh, what a bunch of horse shit. Previously, I was going to the Hollywood station to report any threats we received, but sometimes this is difficult as they are not the normal types that the officers at the front desk are used to dealing with. Then in January, I was advised I could work directly with the threat management unit, which has been very helpful, but does not result in my ending up with a police report. Oh, see, that's what Scientology really wants. They want a police report that they can use on various hate websites and stuff like that. It wasn't enough for them just to share information with the police. They needed documentation that they could use to blame Leah Remini for anything that was ever done to any Church of Scientology ever. But it does not result in my ending up with a police report documenting the fact that we received and reported a threatening communication. I fully realize that a lot of what we report will not necessarily go anywhere as far as investigation and prosecution, but I still feel very strongly that I must report and properly document that I did so. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really want to read the whole thing. Palka responded, hi, Kristen. I will have an officer who is available to you directly that can document these incidents. Thank you for reaching out to me, Corey. Oh, okay. I thought there was 4 emails, but it's just those 3. Okay. LAPD Lieutenant Andre Dawson, the detective in charge of my missing persons report into Shelly Miscavige, also has a cozy relationship with Scientology. Here he is speaking at Scientology Celebrity Center at an event about human trafficking. You have got to be kidding me. You cannot make this up. The detective in charge of the Shelly Miscavige missing persons report is literally someone who speaks at Scientology's own human trafficking events. This is beyond the pale. So here we have a picture of the detective, and here we have a screenshot of an event. You are invited. Stop Human Trafficking in Los Angeles, open house. United for Human Rights is one of Scientology's front groups. Well, they're hosted by the Church of Scientology. And where does it say here? Lieutenant Andre Dawson, LAPD Vice Department. Unbelievable. Corey Palka also allowed Scientology to set up an informational kiosk at the LAPD Hollywood division. Are you kidding me? Here's what it looked like. Luckily, it was quickly taken down. Get a load of this. Why in God's name? What would the justification have been to stick one of these Scientology informational kiosks? Oh, I see. It's one of the things that's branded. It doesn't have the Scientology brand on it. It's got their front groups on it. Youth for Human Rights, United for Human Rights. And yet, oh, look, you got those Scientology Way to Happiness books at the bottom and the drug-free books at the bottom. But yet still, does the city of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Police Department not have its own resources on these subjects? Why in God's name would they ever let Scientology stick something like that there? Again, totally reeks of corruption. And what looks like the last tweet in this thread, an investigation must be opened into Corey's relationship with Scientology and the LAPD's interactions with Scientology overall, and the LAPD must not attend Scientology events anymore or accept their funds. Where is Shelly? Absolutely remarkable that the very law enforcement agency responsible, tasked with making sure Shelly Miscavige is actually okay, is deeply in cahoots with the very organization that would be the reason why she is not okay. No wonder Leah Remini was told that to find out information about how her missing persons report was followed up on, she would have to it was classified and she would have to file a public records request. By the way, those are actually two contradictory statements. Something cannot be classified and be subject to public records request. By nature, anything you receive through a public records request is not classified. So that doesn't make any sense. And then to spend $50K trying to get those documents just to be told that you can't have them, this absolutely reeks. And if Captain Palka can be investigated for corrupt behavior with respect to Les Moonves and CBS or NBC, I think it was CBS, he can absolutely be investigated for corrupt behavior with Scientology and the Celebrity Center and David Miscavige. And I hope that happens. It damn well should happen. And I'll tell you what, with the new mayor of Los Angeles being elected shortly, no matter which way it goes, whether it's Karen Bass or Rick Caruso, I think there's probably a pretty good chance we could get an investigation going into what in the hell is going on in the Hollywood department of the LAPD. Okay, well, that is what I wanted to share with you for now. Before I go, let me make my regular pitch for these little Mike Rinder bobblehead dolls. So adorable. You can get these Mike Rinder bobblehead dolls at the spshop.com. All proceeds go to the Aftermath Foundation, which helps people who are escaping from Scientology and restarting their lives. Mike Rinder is on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, as am I. So head over to the spshop.com if you want to get yourself a Mike Rinder bobblehead. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening. Thank you to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.